Hey, everybody. What is today? Happy Friday, I guess it is. Today is my my fourth installment of Daily Dementia Care Encouragement. Uh, okay. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll start that again. I'm not sure whether it did it. Welcome to Daily Dementia Care Encouragement for this Friday. Today, for those of you who are new to this, it's just my way of reaching out to those who are helping support those living with, and maybe just to give you some ideas, some different ways to look at things. So I was asked to write an article this last week, and she really liked what it said. So I thought, what the heck? I'll just kind of share my story with. So, and my screen is flashing at me, so I hope this is all right on your end. Anyway, when I started working in senior living, 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago, I was in an independent living community. So all the residents there were seniors. I think the average age was about 82 or 80. And, but living independently, having their own apartments, and a lot of social activities. It was just an amazing community. So one of the things that I started while I was there, because one of my passions was at the time making jewelry, not just stringing beads, making a legit jewelry. I had a lot of fun with it, and in talking with some of the ladies at the community, they say, "We'd love to have a class." I thought that would be fun. I would get paid to teach you how to learn jewelry. So anyway, so I started my class there, and I did that for about 2 years. And I mean, these ladies got very, very good in it. They really made some beautiful pieces. So when I was offered the position of becoming an executive director of a memory care. When I got there, and this was very silly of me at the time because I was not as knowledgeable as I am today, but I thought to myself, gosh, they have dementia. I don't know whether they could do this or not. Wrong. Dementia does not make you stupid, and it does not stop you from being able to learn things. Please know that, okay? It's not just this decline in all of your thought processes and everything that you do or are. That's not it. So I decided to try a jewelry class with my residents there at the community. And I must say the first class was not a disaster, but there were beads everywhere on the floor done. But that wasn't their fault. It was because I hadn't thought through the process, and I gave them the tools that they needed. So the next class, what I did was I got towels for each of the residents, laid it in front of them, and then they were able to put the beads in their string or their wire in front of them. And they were very intent on making their patterns. And as we progressed and I continued having this class, I was just amazed at their ability to create some very beautiful patterns for bracelets and necklaces, really improving. And they would sit, and sometimes they would just sort those beads out by colors. But I watched as that skill increased, and I watched as their dexterity increased. I do remember it being rather interesting where they wouldn't remember that they were, some of them would, but most of them wouldn't have any idea why they were coming to the room again, even though they did it every month. They would say, "Why are we here? What are we doing?" So they wouldn't necessarily remember that, but their ability to continue doing what they learned continued, and they got better. We even had a fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association, and they made jewelry that they were sold in that. I actually still have a pair that are very meaningful to me. Another piece of the whole story too was that two of the ladies who lived in my independent living community, who I think they were probably 88 to 90 at the time. I told them that I was teaching this class and said, "Hey, would you like to come over one to just kind of see and meet these ladies and maybe kind of help me teach them?" And they drove across town 8 miles, came over for that, and they loved it so much. At first, they were a little bit leery because they had never been in a community setting like that. They didn't know what to expect. And they came over and just really were taken by the personalities of the ladies that were there. Men, but primarily it was ladies. And they loved it so much that they came. I did this for 2 years. And, unless it was weather related or something, they came every single month. And I'll tell you, they told me multiple times how meaningful that was to come. They said, you don't understand. We really look forward to coming, and we look forward to seeing our ladies, because they just had such a great time with them. And they didn't look at them as they had to take care of. They very quickly realized that they're just people, and with great personalities, and they'd laugh together and they'd drop beads together, and they just had a great time. And the last piece of that story that meant a lot to me too was sometimes communities or in senior living, depending on how leadership approaches it, oftentimes the workers look at it as their job to be the caretaker, the caregiver. I do everything for them. We're not here to be their friend, to do for them. We're here to get them dressed. We're here to take them, do things for them. I was very proud in Brookdale. One of our our mantras with staff was, we partner with our residents. We want them to be as independent as they possibly can and to continue living life as much as they can. So when I started doing this class, I remember the very first class as the new executive director. I'd probably only been there maybe a month or two. And, the staff didn't quite know me yet. They didn't know how to take me. Well, I started teaching this class, and here I am, the residents, and I'm teaching them this class. And I remember seeing some of them standing, looking around the door like this. What are you doing? She's teaching a class. What? And I was surprised that they were surprised that I would do that. And they learned that part of our job as being care partners and working, whether we work with or whether we're families, is really being partners with them in whatever we're doing at that moment. Our goal is my goal at the end of that class wasn't to end up with the perfect necklace. It had nothing to do. We had some great necklaces that we ended up with, but that really wasn't the end goal. The goal was to have meaningful engagement and fun and smiles and maybe being silly, and them feel good about what they were doing. They made me feel good about what I was doing. So over that 2-year process, then we would get the staff would then start coming in, and they would ask, can I come in and do jewelry class with you this week? And I think it gave them a different perspective on what our roles are in a community on engaging with our residents. Caregiver is one of the most amazing roles that anybody can do. And the staffs, they always come with a great heart. If they don't have a great heart, they don't stay. They just don't last. But it's really nice to be able to see them, for them to kind of realize that they had permission to just have a relationship. And that's what they should be doing. They're not just there to provide for their activities of daily living. We really want them to have genuine relationships and to encourage, and again, help them be as independent as they possibly can. Hey, Judith, good to see, or I guess looking up there, your name's down. Good to see you, Judith. Anyway, so I hope it was insightful for you in some way. I don't know what you might take from this, but I learned a lot from that process. I think the biggest thing I learned from it was how stupid I was to think, oh, they have dementia. I don't think that. I was a trained social worker in gerontology, and I still had that thought that ran through my head. That was one of my aha moments in my career. So anyway, I will let you go. Happy Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Keep yourself healthy. Get outside, get some exercise, or maybe inside. Reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Give them say hi. I do need to write my handwritten letters that I gave you advice on. So anyway, everyone, have a good weekend, and I probably will talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye, everyone.